This is Carson, this is Brandon, I'm Patrick, and this is our ground soil project.
Hi. The problem we have right now is that thermal pollution is going into Lamberton Creek. Most roads and impervious surfaces are asphalt, and the problem with asphalt is that it is usually 20, 30, 40 degrees hotter than the surrounding air, but it can be up to 90 degrees warmer than surrounding air. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can get up there. The problem with that is that when water stays on there, on the asphalt, it warms up incredibly warm. And let's just say it's the middle of July, it's 100 degrees out, and there was a quick shower. It was 15 minutes ago. Water still left out on the asphalt. That asphalt was, let's just say, 120 degrees, since it can be up to 20, 30, 40 degrees warmer than surrounding air. That water that sits on there that was 80, 90 degrees is getting warmed up to 120 degrees. And when that water, when cars drive by and splash that really warm water that's 120 degrees into the ground next to the highway or the road, that falls down and rolls down into Lamberton Creek, which Lamberton Creek will be 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that 120 degrees water that rolls into Lamberton Creek goes in there, it'll start warming up the water around it. And when that water warms up, it will allow algae to grow, and when algae grows, that means that algae will take over and kill off all the plants, which means that when the plants die, that the fish or marine life have to move away because the plants are their food and their life, and when people don't have food, they have to move. So you're basically saying that through the whole thing, you're basically getting rid of the whole marine life, and you pretty much lose that part of the creek. What can we do to fix the problem? As you can see by the top left picture, asphalt pretty much takes in 100% of the sunlight. So basically, if you show the sunlight onto the asphalt, it'll pretty much take all the heat that the sun gives off, and it won't reflect probably 1% of it, 2%. But by concrete, it'll reflect 50 to 75% of it. It reflects about half of it off, so that way concrete doesn't warm up as fast. Which, for how can we fix the problem is that if we switch asphalt to concrete, there is a certain type of concrete that is pervious, that the water will flow through it, and that costs about $2 to $6.50 per square foot, so it is incredibly cheap to do, and is very effective for the ecosystem and all surrounding life.
So that was one way of solving it, and now another way of solving would be curb planters, or also known as stormwater curbs. Now, what are stormwater curbs exactly, or curb planters? The specially modified planter made for stormwater runoff. Just in case you didn't know what stormwater runoff is, it's mainly rain or melted snow that does not seep into the ground immediately, which causes it to carry pollution. In turn, these curbs are lower elevation and topped off with soil, trees, and all sorts of plants, just like a typical garden. And now the usual costs, and why does this help exactly? The usual cost for the installation is $8 per square foot, and maintenance is around $400 to $500 per year. But if you just take a step back and look at that per year and how much money the city gets, then it's really not that huge of a deal, and it's not really any thorn in your side. And that's just for a decent sized 500 square foot planter. These planters won't be any hassle either. They just need typical things like a garden would need, like picking weeds, replacing soil, and just checking up on it if you do in and outflow beneath it as it takes in water and uses that to grow the plants. And that's all that would be really necessary for it. And most stormwater planters only need to be completely and absolutely replaced up to 25 years. So you plant it and there's no real hassle to replace the whole thing unless there's constant downpour, constant thunderstorms all over the West Michigan and Grand Rapids area.
So what is comprehensive planning? Well, comprehensive planning is a process that determines community goals on what they can do to better the environment. The most important thing is that this process needs to have step-by-step plans on what they can do to better the environment. This is a long process, but if presented to the right people like Elgro, funds are available to help you better the environment.
Is that it? Thank you, guys. Nice job.